morning, Barefjes, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, Deputy Ministers, colleagues from the government, representatives of the executive, Mrs. Hakopian and members of the platform, dear colleagues, ambassadors of the European Union and other representatives of civil society present today. I want to greet this meeting and to greet the level of constructive engagement on the side of the government in the first place, but also on the side of the civil society. It is very important to have this dialogue in the context of the implementation of the CEPA agreement. The CEPA agreement termed also a couple of years ago a blueprint for reforms by Prime Minister Pashinyan and actively pursued by all of you on the government side, is a very demanding text that we have agreed to implement together. It contains very concrete recommendations and commitments for reforms. And I know how much you have been investing in the implementation of all these commitments. We have a system of monitoring and of having dialogue on the implementation of these reforms, not only with the civil society, but also very actively between the various bodies of the agreement, the Partnership Council, the Partnership Committee. Actually, we have had last week a meeting of the Partnership Committee in the trade configuration here, and also we're going to have the General Partnership Committee meeting in Brussels in the beginning of July, and we are planning a meeting of the Partnership Council soon. And numerous subcommittees take place. Why do I mention this? In order to show the degree and the frequency of the interactions that we have. This is very important. It is very important to discuss. It is very important to ask for opinions. And it is very important to implement on the ground those very demanding reforms. These are indeed very demanding reforms which require also technical assistance, transfer of expertise from our member states in particular, but also other experts through different means of technical assistance. We have a CEPA facility which is actively implementing helping the government to implement these reforms. And actually, the process is really ongoing. I see a huge motivation on the side of the government, and I'm very pleased to see also a very huge motivation on the side of the platform and the civil society, because it is also through this interaction, through your external recommendations as well, that the process can benefit and become even more sustainable. It is not easy to hold this type of dialogue all the time, but I think it is essential that we are all committed to a very strong and sustainable implementation of these reforms. We are now working together with the Armenian authorities, but the civil society is also part of this process on the strengthening and deepening of EU-Armenia relations. A new partnership agenda is in the making. The negotiations are almost completed. And in this context, one of the main issues covered in this agenda is to use the full potential of the CEPA agreement. This is a joint commitment, and I'm sure that with this boost, we are going to further accelerate the implementation of the CEPA agreement. Deputy Prime Minister mentioned the resilience of Armenia. This is a big priority for the European Union. Last year we presented a resilience and growth plan. This resilience and growth plan is in the process of being implemented with very concrete commitments to strengthen the economy, strengthen the society, strengthen the process of reforms, bring Armenia closer to Europe, and very concrete work is underway, for instance, in the area of trade, in the area of economic diversification, strengthening the quality standards for the private sector. But of course, this has to go hand in hand with the adoption of European standards in specific areas like intellectual property rights, consumer protection. Your report actually mentions many of them. I think it's a matter of organizing our dialogue, organizing our work, organizing our resources in such a way as to be efficient based on this huge commitment that we have on both sides. The Deputy Prime Minister mentioned also the visa liberalization dialogue. This is another new strand of our cooperation. Actually, the SEPA agreement foresees it. It is very, very significant that last year we took a decision to move forward with this dialogue last year in July. The work is underway. There are very concrete strands of cooperation, very concrete areas of reforms, and the European Union is actively working in the context also of the dialogue, interacting with the Armenian authorities on the preparation of the visa liberalization action plan, which will guide the reforms in this particular area. We also work in areas like security sector, border management, biometric documents, protection of personal data. Again, your report gives some assessment and also some recommendations in all these areas. I think it would be interesting and important for all of us to take heed of the expectations of the civil society and see also how we can be more efficient together. I think it is very important to keep in mind that these reforms and the implementation of the SEPA agreement require a all of the society approach. Very often we talk about the whole of the government. I think there is no doubt that we have a whole of the government approach here, and I have always been impressed by all the meetings discussing SEPA implementation. You have also been present, Mrs. Hakubian, in the various meetings that we have organized, and you are always participating in those events together with the other members of the platform. But I think that what we need really to see is what is the additional effort that the civil society has to make, but also very actively, I think, more and more the private sector, the social workers. At the end of the day, the result of what we are doing depends on all of us and on the aspirations of all the strands and the segments of the Armenian society. We are here to support this process. I want to mention that I'm always very impressed when I travel in the country. Last week I was in Munich together with my colleagues from the Team Europe, and we were very impressed to see the commitment for the implementation of our Resilience Munich initiative, the results already achieved, but also the aspirations of our local beneficiaries, stakeholders, young people, families. Really very, very big expectations from this cooperation, and we are here to deliver for all these people. The expectations are there, but I have to say that what impressed me the most was not so much the expectation, but also the readiness from the side of all these stakeholders, and this is across Armenia, not only in Munich, to participate in this process and to deliver for their community and for their society. This is actually the same objective that Deputy Prime Minister has mentioned. This is what we mean when we talk about the resilience of Armenia, the resilience of the Armenian people. It's difficult times for the world, it's difficult times for this region, but I'm so encouraged when I see how much we are all focused on delivering. Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to hear from you today about the findings of the report, but mainly to work together, to continue working together to deliver. Snor Hakalucci.